This is David Wunderlich, and today I want to show you how Florida's defensive front had a really good day against the Tennessee offensive line. Some of it is that the defensive line and linebackers played really well, and some of it is that Tennessee's offensive line just isn't very good. Let's go over a few plays to see how they were able to succeed. This first play is from midway through the first quarter. It's first down, and Tennessee is just going to run a quarterback draw up this way to the right. What's going to happen from a defensive perspective is TJ Slaton is right here at defensive tackle. He is going to go forward to his left, and CC Jefferson is going to loop around behind him, and this is just known as a twist maneuver. The offensive line, these guys are going to double team Slaton, and the center is going to slide over to take care of Jefferson. However, if we go forward a little bit, we'll see that the center is pretty upright, and Jefferson is able to come upwards on him and push him out and up, and that gets him off balance. And so the center is completely out of the way as Jefferson comes in and gets the quarterback for a tackle for loss. So let's go back and see what that looks like in real time. Jefferson was able to use good leverage on the center, push him out of the way, and get a tackle for loss. That is excellent technique from CC Jefferson on that play. Moving along, this is the next drive that Tennessee had, and this is a 2nd and 6. And the key battle right here is this one. You've got Jabari Zuniga, defensive end, against the right guard. And they're both going to start low because they're trying to get good leverage on each other. But Zuniga is a little bit lower, and he again gets good leverage pushing up on the guard. And because he gets good leverage, he's able to push the guard out of the way and come directly into the backfield and get the running back on this play. Florida also has Ja'Kai Polite coming around the end, and he is unblocked in this scheme because the run is supposed to go to the right. CJ Henderson also blitzes off the edge. So between Henderson, who is unblocked, Polite, who is unblocked, and Zuniga, who is able to push his blocker out of the way, there are 3 Gators who are effectively unblocked, arriving at the ball carrier at pretty much the same time. So if we run this forward a little bit, you see Zuniga is getting underneath on the right guard, standing him up. That allows him to push the guard out of the way, and he is able to arrive at the running back at the same time as Polite. Here comes Henderson, and we get a tackle for loss. And here's what this looks like in real time. Once again, we have a really good job of a Florida box defender getting good leverage on an offensive lineman, pushing him out of the way, and making a good tackle for loss. Now we're moving ahead to midway through the second quarter, and once again, it's the same story. The key player here is Adam Schuler, who's lined up right there. He had an excellent game for the Gators. Center is going to be sliding over to block him, but Schuler is able to get good leverage, stand him up, and that gives him options as the play unfolds. We go forward a little bit. Here comes Schuler. He's standing that center up. Center is pretty vertical. That's exactly what you want to see from a defensive lineman. Keep going forward. It's a play fake. And the left guard is right here. He is blocking this avenue, but Schuler has also seen that it is a play fake, and so he's now thinking he needs to go for the quarterback. And so because he has all of the leverage on the center, he is able to go freely around to his left and get after the quarterback. So if we keep going forward, he just pushes off the center, who's leaning over. You never want to see an offensive lineman bent at the waist this much. That means he's been beat. And here comes Schuler, and he hits the quarterback right after the throw. So we'll back it up, and here's what it looks like in real time. Watch how Schuler gets that good leverage on the center, and when it's time to make a decision, he's able to push the center out of the way and get after the quarterback. As we see, the quarterback misses the throw because he has to rush it because there's a defender in his face. That was an excellent play by Schuler. Now here's another play. I want to emphasize that it wasn't only that Florida was able to get good leverage against Tennessee's offensive line, they were also able to use some good techniques to get past them without needing to overpower them every single time. So the key player on this one is TJ Slaton, lined up right here. He is going to be going after the right guard. He is not going to overpower the right guard this time. He's going to use what's known as a swim move because it kind of looks like he's doing a freestyle swimming stroke while standing up. That is going to allow him to go directly between the guard and tackle and get after the quarterback and rush another throw. So we go forward a little bit. Here he goes, and you see right there with his arm rotating it around, kind of looks like a swimming stroke, and he just goes right past him. Has a free line to the quarterback and is able to hit him right as he's throwing. So here's what this looks like in real time. quarterback had to throw it just a little bit early, and so he wasn't able to lead Marquez Callaway as much as he needed to, and Brian Edwards is able to get in there and get a hand on the ball to break it up. This is exactly what you want to see. This is the defensive line helping out the secondary on a couple plays by rushing throws or hurrying the quarterback. It helps out the secondary with a bad throw or an early throw. Finally, this doesn't really fit the theme of the rest of the video, but I just wanted to show it off because this is one of the more interesting blitzes I've seen yet from the Gators under Todd Grantham. So what's going to happen is this receiver, you can see him, he's about to go in motion, and Trey Dean, who's right here, he is going to follow him in motion. We see that. There he goes. And as that's happening, we have a safety here rotating up, and we have a safety right here rotating in. And so both safeties are up on this play. There is not a deep safety at all. However, right here is David Reese, middle linebacker. He is actually going to run backwards as soon as the play begins, and he is basically going to play safety. And right here, standing up in the middle of the line, is CeCe Jefferson. He is playing the stand-up buck position linebacker, but instead of being on the end, he's in the middle. And he is also going to drop back and essentially be the middle linebacker on this play. This safety over on this side is going to come in and blitz. And so we have a safety blitzing, we have our buck linebacker dropping back to play middle linebacker, and our middle linebacker dropping back to play safety. If you just watch these guys in the middle of the defense, there goes Reese. He's going backwards. Back comes Jefferson. He is also dropping back. And what Florida is doing is overloading the offense's left side because you have the safety coming in, you have lineman here, TJ Slayton. He is coming around to that side. This is meant to put a lot of pressure on the left side of the offense. This blitz doesn't exactly work out the way Florida wants it to, because everyone is coming from the left. That means there's a lot of space over here on the right, and Jefferson is not fast enough to get over and make the stop before Garantano is able to get to the sideline. So he ends up leaving the pocket and making that weird little dive for the first down. It's a really exotic blitz from Todd Grantham, but unfortunately for the Gators, they didn't have the right side of the formation completely covered, and Tennessee is able to get the first down. So here's what this really weird blitz looks like in real time. So that one didn't work out, but it was an example of Florida being aggressive in a way it definitely wouldn't have been aggressive last year. But going back to the main theme, Florida's defensive front had an excellent game against Tennessee. Tennessee's offensive line is not very good, so I don't expect to see them have this good a game against every future opponent. However, this shows you a little bit about how line play works and how important leverage is, because Florida was able to get good leverage a lot of the time. And when the defensive lineman is controlling where the offensive lineman is going, that means the defensive lineman can push the guy out of the way and make a stop whenever he needs to.